Tom Junod is nice enough to join us. He was honored here just a few moments ago as part of the 50th anniversary of the class of 1970. Wow, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes.
Tom, thanks so much for joining us. You were part of the first ever DeSales basketball team. Let's start there and talk a little bit about what that was like.
It was pretty amazing. Started my junior year. Before that, we had played like in the Industrial League in Allentown.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the first team was in 69 season. Played the first game in Bolero Hall, which was a lot of fun. Everything that happened was a first that game. It was great. I mean, I loved it. Spent most of my sophomore year waiting for them to complete the gym. I mean, It was a long process, and we thought it would never get done, but it finally was built, and we had the first game, and it was an amazing time.
Can you talk about all the changes that have taken place here? I mean, I remember, I tell some of these kids, I remember when there was a stage area over there. They don't believe me. But I'm sure that was the early 90s. So what was this place like around 1970?
Well, it was 2 years old around 1970. Basically, there were a few buildings. There were only two dorms, the academic building and this building. Some of the fields were basically fields. Yeah. Didn't have the sports facilities that they have today, and the great baseball field and soccer field. So it was a lot different back then. But it's still, I mean, the students and the feeling, I think, is the same, but there's definitely a lot more facilities-wise. Yeah. Many more buildings. And you have to give the university a lot of credit. I mean, the board and the staff, they've really, built quite the university. When we came, it was, no alumni. So it was pretty amazing how much it has improved. And now with, Father Greenfield, great new president, I'm sure he'll make a lot of nice improvements and changes over these coming years.
What was the team like those first couple of years? And you were pretty active because I was looking through the stats. You racked up a lot of points and rebounds, too.
We had a reasonable team, not the level that they're playing today. I mean, it's much faster game and better players, and but it was fun. We didn't play nearly as many games. I think we only played 36 games in the 2 seasons that I was here when they had a team. But it was a great experience.
When you see all the titles that they've won, especially over the last couple of years, and the points they put up and the individual statistics and all the milestones that have been made from an individual's perspective and a team perspective for this program over the last 50 years, how proud are you knowing that you were the guys that started it and you kind of got this ball rolling?
I'm very proud of that. I mean, I think it's pretty amazing that 50 years ago we started it, and I still have one record that's there on rebounds, 20 rebounds in a game and 32 points. So it was probably the best game I ever played. But it was definitely a lot of fun. And statistics-wise, I mean, they have statistics on everything. I mean, when we played, they didn't have computers. I mean, anything they calculated was strictly done by hand and a piece of paper and a pencil. So it's definitely a lot different. And so many things have changed. I mean, three-point shot, 30-second clock, on and on. But it was fun playing back then. We had a great time. We had good cheerleaders, good support from the students. We didn't have that many students, but most of them came to the games. Mm-hmm. So it was a great time.
What's it like to come back for Alumni Day? And I see this every year, and I see everything going on because we're busy with the preparations for the broadcast and so forth. But I see a lot of smiles. I see a lot of balloons, a lot of cake going around. But I'm sure there's a little bit more to seeing some familiar faces for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, several of us, there's probably a group of maybe 15 or 20 of us that get together a lot more than just, once a year here or once every 5 years. We have a little event that we have every year in Cape May, so we go down there for that. There's about 15 to 20 members of the class that show up for that. So it's a lot of fun, and we've stayed in touch, and that's one thing that, we were a close group. We made lifelong friends, and it's really been great.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What are some of the memories from that team? And, I'm sure over the years by coming back, I don't know if the stories get bigger or better or they get enhanced at all. But
well, definitely get enhanced. They don't. Same story, just the fish gets bigger.
Yeah.
No, it was amazing. I mean, when we were here, like freshman, sophomore year, we would go over to the orphanage and play games. So they really didn't. We had a basketball hoop in the back parking lot, but we really didn't have any other place to play on campus. So in the winter, we went over there, or late at night, we played in the parking lot. It was a lot of fun. We had great times.
Yeah. Now, in addition to basketball, can you talk about what your major was and what you've been doing the last 50 years after you graduated from DeSales?
Only last 50. Well, my major was economics. When I left, graduated from DeSales, went to work for Campbell Soup Company. While I was there, I went to Temple and got my MBA in Philadelphia, and worked for Campbell's a good number of years. They bought a company over in Australia. I got a chance to go over there and integrate the new company into Campbell Soup. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah. We had great times. I was with Campbell's probably 28 years, I think it was. And then I worked for a couple other food companies, so it's mainly been in food industry. All good experience.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming back. I hope you enjoyed the ceremony, and thanks for sharing some of your experiences from playing back in 1969-70 with the Allentown basketball team, now DeSales University.
Yeah. Well, it was great, and I appreciate you having me. And like I said before we started talking, you guys do a great job, and it's a lot of fun. If I can't make the game, I can always watch it on the computer. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, we appreciate that. All these guys over here get all the credit for that. But thanks so much for your time. Thanks for the nice comments, and we'll talk again in another 50 years about the first DeSales team.
Hopefully.
Hope so. All right, we'll take a break and be back with more of the second half between DeSales and Wilkes right after this.